Hello everyone, welcome to our webinar today. So the subject of our webinar today is going to be modeling of 3D climatic loads made easy in, of course, GRAITEC Advanced Design software. My name is Farshad Purshad. I am the Solution Technical Manager for US and Canada, which is mostly focused on our structural engineering software. So let's move on with our slides today. Okay, so what are the benefits of our climatic load generators in advanced design? So first of all, as you see here, we cover different standards. So in terms of US and Canadian codes, as you see here, we are covering NBC codes and as well ASC 710 and 760. So based on those standards, you can always use the automatic load generators to create your loads on the structure. And as you see here, each of those will have both scenarios. So I will have automatic snow load generator and as well wind load generator based on the selection of the code or standard that I have from the project browser. Second benefit is in terms of defining the basic parameters to apply wind and snow loads or generate them automatically. In advanced design, we have the automatic libraries built inside the software. So for example, we have the location-based dialog box here that you can select the localization here, and advanced design will automatically load up the default values, let's say the base wind load pressure or base snow load base, which is based on the region that you have selected. And as well for US codes, we will have the full map that you can just use and assign those values just by clicking on the map and the region. So advanced design will automatically assign all of those base values. Okay, what types of climatic load generators we have in advanced design? As you see here, we can have wind on both closed structures or even open structures, as you see here. And as well, we have a snow load generator even on irregular shaped structures. The positive thing here is you can, using the dialog boxes that we have in advanced design, you can easily go and modify all of the default values related to either wind or snow load generator. The second benefit here, as you see here, the loads are going to be automatically created as a 3D load. So you can actually have, as you see here, the load defined in both X and Y direction, and advanced design can also create them in all possible directions that you have there. And as well, you have the option that you can just use the check marks to remove the check marks and just create the wind load in just one direction, as you see here. As I mentioned earlier, the tool also works on open structures like 3D trusses and towers. And finally, both wind loads and snow loads can be modified in the software. So the automatic generator will do the first task, which is creating of the loads on the members or load areas. But after that, the users are able to just click on the loads and verify the values. Like you can easily compare the values calculated by software to your hand calculation. And even if you want to change some of the values, it's just one click. You can select that load case from Advanced Design's menu and modify the load pressure if you want. So it is very flexible kind of tool that we have there. So in order to see how these tools will work in advanced design, let's go inside the software, and I'm going to show you live how you can use these tools on a structure, either if we're talking about wind or snow loads. So let's go in advanced design. Okay, so I have opened advanced design to use the feature of climatic load generators. So first thing is we need to define our code. So we will go to configuration. And here you can select, like in North America, either United States, or I also have the Canadian code here. So for the purpose of this demonstration, I will use US codes, but just to let you know, it's almost the same behavior about the Canadian codes that you can use here. So we will select the US codes, and down here you have the option to select the required code. So in this case, the climatic loads, and as you see, ASCE 716 is automatically selected here, but you also have the option of using ASCE 710 to create them. So in this case, I will use the ASCE 716, and I will click OK. So now we can start a new project. I will click New. Okay, so we have a new project here. So at the beginning, advanced design will ask you if you want to name the project and put some properties here. So we will just close this and close this window as well. So let's generate a structure and try to see how the automatic wind and snow load generators will work in advanced design. So in this case, I will just go and create a simple structure. So what we can do is we can add our linear elements first. So it's very easy in advanced design. You can just click there, linear element. You have the material and section. If you want to, you can change them later on. But in this case, I will just keep them. And very easy, I will start by adding some members here. And as well, we can add another frame member here. For example, we can add a column like that, or I can even add a beam like that using the snap points of advanced design, as you see here. So in case if you want to cut this part off, we can simply, so then I can use our trim tool here. I can use that one, select the entity that we want to trim, and then press enter, and here that I'm going to keep that one, okay? So this is how it's easy to create like and trim the structure. So we can now change this structure and make it as a 3D structure. So for that, I can always go to top view like that. We can change our work plane. There you go. And using the copy, automatic copy option of advanced design, I can just select the frames, and there you go. I can create my structure like that. So now I'm going to be using the snap points of advanced design to simply create my geometry, as you see here. Very simple. We have created this type of structure here. So now we will need to add some supports under our structure. So to add supports, we can go always here. We have different types of supports. I can go with a rigid, and with just clicking here, I can add my supports under the columns. Okay, this is the structure that we have. And finally, in order to let advanced design know that how our wind loads will be distributed on the structure, we need to define load areas that are actually very simple to define. So we have the load area on selection tool, click there, and just clicking on the members, we can just click here, just to define the envelope around the structure. In this case, I will use this option. There you go. Okay. And finally, we can also use this option to define the other load areas around the structure. Okay, and I will use this tool here to define the last one. Okay. So also our envelope needs to be closed. So what I can do here, we can actually add some planner elements on the roof side. So we will use just the default values there, and just clicking here, I will create my envelope for the second story and this one. So just to let you know, load areas, they have their own properties. So I can click here and I can firstly decide if they're going to be like unidirectional or bidirectional load distribution. So here we are using bidirectional, but if you want, you can just change them and decide which direction you want the loads to be distributed. You can decide if you want them to be a rigid diaphragm or you want to add the self-weight automatically. All of those can be also checked and changed using those options there. So in this case, what I'm going to do here, we can now actually go and define our loads. So in this case, we can use the load for wind. So I can simply go to loading, right-click, create a case family. So here I will have my load generator option. So as you know, we have different types of loads in advanced design, that's seismic, wind, and snow. So in this case, for example, let's go with wind. Since I have used US codes, that's why I see here ASC 716s. I can click there and click OK. So now we need to define our parameters related to wind load pressure. So as you see here, you can check all of the pressure coefficient, all of these. You can even change the wind direction, X, Y, on positive and negative directions. So as well, to calculate the wind speed, I can simply click here, and I will have the full US map. So for example, we can go and pick that location, so it's going to automatically populate the wind speed there. You can change the exposure category, risk category, etc. So all of them, I will leave them as they are. And now that we have defined all of those properties or values, we can simply ask Advanced Design to create the wind loads in this structure. So I can simply right-click and automatic generation. And as you see here, it's automatically created. So now they look small, but I can right-click and auto-scale them. And so there you go. So here you will see that Advanced Design automatically created all of the loads, either internal or external wind pressures on the structure. So again, as I mentioned earlier, these values can be checked. So for example, if you want to check the value of this load, which is being applied to this side, you can just click here and you can see the value per square feet that is being applied to this side of structure. And in any case, if you want to modify that, it's very simple. You can just type in the value that you need here, and it's going to automatically change the value that is applied. You can also go from the list one by one, so all of the categories in positive and negative wind direction, different GCPI values, as you see here, can be checked. You can also hide some of them here. You can just double-clicking, you can hide some of the cases, as you see, or display the ones that you just want to check. So this also makes the control easier on these loads. So this was about the wind load generator. So we can actually use this same example here to create our snow loading. So I will hide the wind load here. So same thing here, go to loading, right click, create a family. And now this time I will use a snow family. So you click on snow, click OK. So the snow load case will be opened. Similar to wind, here I can go on and define the parameters of the structure. And as well, we can go here and decide which region we want the project to be located, or what kind of wind, what kind of snow pressure we are going to be using. So for example, I can click there, it's going to automatically populate. You can add also other properties here, so that software can use. So for now, I will just keep everything as default. And to generate the loads automatically, simply you can go on this and right click and ask automatic generation. Okay, as you see here, by clicking that, the snow loads will be generated. So as you see here, and Advanced Design is also able to calculate the snow drift values here, snow drift load. So the triangular ones that you see here is going to be our snow drift loads that you see here. So for example, I can simply go here and select those values that we have here for the snow drift. And as you see here, all of the values can be checked from this dialog box here. So in case if you want to verify them, you can just go there and simply verify those values or change them. So as you see here, it's very simple to use this option in Advanced Design. And finally, as you know, we have the automatic load combination generators in Advanced Design that software will automatically also create all of the required load combinations. So actually what we can do here, we can create our load combinations. So with using the automatic calculator, we will keep everything as default and click on generate. So as you see, all of the possible combinations of wind and snow will be created here. Well, in this case, just because this is just an example, I didn't create any dead load or live load. So I will click OK. And now actually we can run the analysis. So we can go here and directly do a finite element calculation. There you go. So if you want to check the deformation of the structure for either of those wind, snow, or all of the load combinations, that you can just select from here. So this was like a very simple example on how you can use the automatic wind and snow load generators in Advanced Design. I would like to also show you how the wind on open structures work in Advanced Design. So for that, I can open one of my models and we can continue from there. Okay, I have opened another model, and this is going to be an open structure. So we're going to be assuming that there's no panel, etc. But as you see here, I have defined my load areas, because still Advanced Design needs to know how the loads will be applied on the members in this case, not the panels. So that's why we define them. But if I check the properties of my load areas, just here, you will see that in the type I have defined lattice structure or scaffolding. So Advanced Design automatically knows that this is going to be an open structure. So basically, the procedure is going to be almost similar to other ones. So we will just create, go to the loading and create a case family. And again, let's go with AST 716, click OK. So in this case, the only difference that I need to have here, the first one is I need to select the area, like the previous one. So for example, click there. So we will have the wind speed. But here we will use the other procedure, which is going to be directional procedure for open structures. So as I mentioned earlier, this is going to be an open structure. And we will keep all of the other values as default. So now I will simply go and right-click and click on Automatic Generation. And there you go. As you see here, my loads on this open structure is created. So just to make sure, I can hide the load areas. And as you see here, the loads are being applied directly on the members because this is an open structure. So again, all of these values can be checked, so you have the control on them in each direction. And as well, you can just select them from here, for example, this one, and you can check the intensity of that load, which is going to be per length of that member. So again, about this same structure here, we can very simply add also our supports, like this, and this. Then we can create our load combinations. Okay. And click OK. And now we can run the analysis just to study this structure. There you go. And this is going to be the formation of this structure under the defined loads. So you have access to all of them and as well all of the load combinations as you see here. Okay, so since we are here, I will also show you how to use our climatic load generators again based on Canadian codes. So simply to create a new project, we can go back to our new projects list, and I will just change my localization to Canada. Then in language, we can actually change it to English. There you go. And as you see, all of the codes will show up. So we have NBC 2015 for climatic load generators. So I can click OK here, and then click on a new project. Okay. Same as the model before. So we can just create another simple structure here, just to show you how it works. So I will just do a 2D frame, and probably using my control option, I can just copy it this way maybe, yeah. Okay. We can even make it longer if you want. So there you go. Okay. And then we can go to our top view. We will change our work plane. So it's going to be easier to make this structure 3D. So same option here. I can actually use my copy tool there. There you go. And like that. We can add obviously our also beams here. Again, using our copy option, simply I can copy them over the other spans. Okay. And even we can make the story like a second story over this. So very simple. There you go. So let's say we have this structure and we would like to apply our wind and snow loads on this structure. So as I mentioned earlier, first we just gonna need to add our load areas just to let the software know how it's gonna be distributing the wind loads. So selections, I can simply use this tool here just to add our wind loads, load areas, pardon me. And then here, as well, we'll use this side to add we can use this part. Oops, okay. Yep. Okay, so we have the envelope of the structure now, and also we can close the top part. So what we can do is, again, using the same option as well here. Okay, so we have the envelope of the structure. if you want to just get those load areas out of your display, you can actually hide them by doing right click, and here you can just remove this display load areas options. There you go. We can add some supports. Okay, you can do the actually same copy option for your supports as well. So I will just do like that. Here. Okay. So we have supported our structure. Now we can actually go on with generation of our loads. Obviously, if we want, we can also add some slabs for the roof definition. So I will just keep everything as default. So we can just go here and add our slab. And use the same copy option to copy to the bottom one. Okay. So now we can actually apply our automatic wind loads first. So let me bring back our load areas, go to loading, right click and create a case family. So we will start with wind, probably this one, okay. And as you see, it's NBC 2015, we click OK. And now we will go to our properties as with the US ones. So this is going to be NBC, so we can check our region. Yeah, let's go with, for example, Montreal. Click OK, there you go. So you will see that the Montreal will be displayed there. So if you want to modify those values again, you can do them from these properties here. And now you can just right click, click on automatic generation. So there you go, the loads are created. You can just scale them to see them how they have been created for all directions, positive and negative. So this is gonna be our wind loading, and we will basically do the same scenario for snow loading. So again, we go to loading, right click, create a case family, we select snow now, click OK. So now I have my snow load here. Similar to the wind, we can go here, select our region. So I will use again Montreal and click OK. So then what we're going to be doing simply is again using the automatic generation. We can generate the snow loads as you see here for the structure, and it's as you see it's already has been created. So obviously the next stage is going to be our load combinations. So and we can go automatic load generator based on NBC, click generate, and all of them will be created. Obviously in this case again I have not defined any dead loads or live loads, we have just wind and snow just as an example, and I will click OK. And now basically we can run the analysis. So you go to analysis and you do FE calculation, click OK. Okay, we have the results. So we can, for example, check for displacements. And there you go. This is one of the displacements under wind load. And as you saw before, we have as well all of the other load combinations if you want to check combinations for the formation. Okay, thank you very much. This was basically it about what we have in advanced design for climatic load generators. So let me go back to our slides. Okay, so thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, actually, right now you can ask the questions using the chat tool. So I will try to answer your questions here. And in any case, if you want to give it a try and try advanced design, or you have any other questions regarding the software or the load generators that we discussed today, please feel free to contact us using our support email, so support.us@greatec.com and support.canada@greatec.com.